less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Lay down.
Now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bob.
There's cute little names for everything, right? Feast Week. Bowl Mania, Showdown Saturday, whatever. Look, man, Feast Week has been great. College basketball, if you needed a little something, if you needed a little reprieve from the football or a little addition or something because there's no action for you to watch or to get you all the way through till your Turkey Day like the college hoops has been sensational early season. What's up, boys and girls? Merry whatever day. Oh, it's Wednesday. It's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Are you even working today? I know our FM isn't, but if you found us on the AM, you found us on the app, on the web, on the ProView Network stream, on the visuals. Maybe this is a day that this is where you watch us on the Facebook, the OD and the AM, or wherever it is you find us. Glad you did find us. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living?
What's up?
Did you watch any hoop?
all the hoop.
I mean, no, honestly, like, is it on during the day? Is it on? It's been so good. The matchups that you get in these tournaments, and people have realized, you know what? It doesn't hurt to go out and play someone. In fact, it helps to go out and play someone in the non-conference. And these early season tournaments, I don't care that they're neutral sites. Like they almost gives you a March feel to them. Watching Kansas and Duke play in Vegas last night in a game where Hunter Dickinson got ejected for a flagrant 2 for kicking a dude in the head, and watching Kansas still hold on. By the way, they're really good. That had a March feel to it, didn't it?
It does, and I'm right there with you. I want to see non-conference matchups in whatever sport it may be. It's good for the fans, builds a resume. There's always that little bit of ... that you miss out on atmospheres because, yeah, a lot of these buildings are absolutely empty.
And some of them are full. Like T-Mobile was full.
Yeah, the Terry's Chocolate, whatever, wasn't.
The second game.
Yeah.
The Seattle-Fordham game. Yeah. They were both Terry's Chocolate or whatever.
There's a lot. The Player Air Festival's going on in Vegas too, and there's great tournaments. I'm not complaining about the matches.
Vegas is popping. Right?
Just sometimes you miss out on
the atmosphere of it. Yeah, and so if it was in Cameron Indoor, or it was in Lawrence, I understand that. Colorado beats UConn. I mean, Dan Hurley may not come back from the island. Like he may. Do you like Dan Hurley? Are you a Dan Hurley fan?
No, what happened the other night was, of course, over the top and ridiculous. But yeah, the guy that's won back-to-back titles is pretty legit at what he does. He's
like, fantastic at what he does.
And he usually is not that roll around on the floor guy.
Yeah, no, two different questions.
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I've always liked him. I'm starting to kind of tire of it. I'm not going to lie. Look, man, you lost 2 games by 4 points total or 3 points total in Hawaii, in Maui, in November. You're still going to be really good, and you're still going to be there at the end. Your team's really good. Like, every once in a while, those close games go the other way. And you don't have to berate the officials on all the time, and it's not always that their guys didn't do something. Like every press conference, enough, dude. Like, you're really, really – and I would tell him if he was sitting right here. Like, you're really, 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 really good. You're probably the best in the game, right? He's probably the best college basketball coach there is right now, right? He's won 2 in a row. And I've always really liked him. But the tirade the first night, the 2 nights ago, how would you feel if you were Penny Hardaway and he, in his postgame, told the press that your guy was half-assing it? When you go look at the play, and I don't really think my dude was half-assing it. Like,
yeah, that's going to not go over well at all.
Yeah. I listened to that, and I'm like, come on, man. And you're on the officials 3 minutes into the game in Maui in November. Like I don't know. You're really good. You're really, really good.
The Hurley's antics the last couple of days, I'm not going to defend it or call it crazy, but it was crazy. But, man, coaches on refs is a tradition unlike any other.
How many times have we talked about this? There's no other walk in life, right, where you can treat another human like that. Is there?
And you wonder, he's passionate, he's in it, coaches scream, but the last 2 games where he had the tantrum the other night.
Where he just dropped like a child.
An assistant coach is at the end of the game grabbing him to push him back. Yeah. You're like, are you trying to send a message to your team? What is causing you to get to this point right now?
All right, what is the message? Let's play that out. Because if, in fact, I'll go on the category branch, or what do we call that? The topic
tree?
Yeah, whatever. The topic. I was looking for the word the other day. I couldn't remember. The topic tree. I'll play that. All right, let's say he's sending a message. What's the message? I got your back? What? That you can act like a child?
That's not one you can see from the outside and pull away any good thoughts on it.
Dude, you're in Maui. The games were big. They matter. You just got paid whatever the gigantic $8 million a year deal. You got more job security than anybody in that industry, right? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, It's like someone was having a breakdown.
Yeah.
In Maui, and it was him.
It feels that way. It feels that way. I go back to this, and I know you and I have had this conversation. It's been a few years since we've had this conversation. What other walk of life, honestly, is it acceptable for a grown man to scream and scream obscenities at another grown man, throw tantrums, and it's totally okay, and the other grown man isn't allowed to talk back to him? Where other? I mean, give me another place in life. I got one. I do. I have one. Congress. When there's some poor sap from whatever company, the Boeing guy sitting there, and these uppity blowhard senators get to sit there and abuse a guy like that. I guess they get to do that, right?
So essentially, it was. He felt the foul that they called yesterday is when the day before yesterday is when they missed.
Right.
Yesterday.
So he thought it shouldn't have been called yesterday when it was on his dude, but it should have been called last night when it was on the other team.
Yeah. We're looking for consistency, right?
Well, hey, your point got through. You're right. You don't make that call at the end of the game. That's what you screamed all night last night. So they heard you. And by the way, it wasn't the same officiating crew. But all right, you screamed and yelled all night last night and fell to the ground like you were shot because there's no way you can make that call at that point in a game. And so they heard you and they didn't make the call at the end of the game and you lost your mind again. Look, and watching to your point, just watching the people hold him down. And I guess to whom is he accountable, right? There's nobody. I mean, what's his AD going to do? Who do you think? And I don't even know who the UConn AD is. But who's more powerful at that place, the AD or Dan Hurley?
It's Hurley.
I mean, who's more powerful at UNM, Fernando Lobo or Richard Pitino?
Yes. Pitino.
Yes. It just amazed me. And I'll tell you this. That's why I appreciate Pitino's demeanor so much. And I've told you this. If you're going to look, everybody's going to lose their mind at some point. I watch people around here do it too. And you do it in your office, and I understand. But if you're doing it every damn night, and he's kind of become that guy, right? Any close game. Now, he's not doing it when he's blowing out Fordham, right? But if you do it every night, isn't your shtick a little old? Like when Pitino gets angry, remember when he got that first technical that time in Wyoming? It's like, whoa, we hadn't seen that. Right, his first year. Like, make it real. Does that make sense? I don't know, man. I think he's a terrific coach. I do. I think he's the best coach in the game. Is he become Bobby Knight?
I
mean, there's an aspect of that, isn't there?
Yes. Because honestly, before the last two nights, there's not a oh my gosh, he keeps doing this. So I don't want to say that. Like, it's two really bad days, not excusing it. But I also don't remember a lot of things that jump off that we were discussing this about him.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch, man. What happens when games really matter in the Big East? What happens when they're playing St. John's in Madison Square Garden and it's a tight game? I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, the hoops has been terrific. We totally got off kilter. Colorado beats UConn 73-72. The Kansas-Duke matchup was sensational. Did you catch the back end of Alabama-Houston going into overtime last night? Another one of those games. That game's over on TBS.
The last couple of days are just insane.
Yeah.
So good.
Big win in the Mountain West. Mountain West needs wins, right? You're watching. San Diego State picked fourth in the Mountain West. Wins over Creighton. They beat them 71-53. I don't know if you watched the game. JJ, the Aztecs dominated. I mean, Aztecs looked big.
So this is a hard one because you're like, yeah, and then you realize like
Ashworth
Creighton's
was
been
out.
So bad to start the season.
And Ashworth was out. But okay.
Their metrics will come back. But
well, Creighton did bad. They've lost two in a row. Nebraska beat them, and San Diego State beat them. I mean, they beat their cupcakes before. They beat Marvin Menzies and Houston Christian and Fairleigh Dickinson and Rio Grande. They're ranked 23rd, 21st in the country. Aztecs get a test today. They get Oregon today. It'll be interesting. Oregon beat 10th ranked Texas A&M. And that A&M team who beat St. John's, right? No, who beat St. John's the other day? What did I watch the overtime game? Baylor in Georgia. Yeah, Baylor in Georgia. Iowa State, 89-84 over Dayton. That's 5th ranked Iowa State. Dayton played them tough. The Aggies were in Dayton a week ago. Played Dayton pretty tough for a while. Great college hoops, man. Great stuff. Today you get even more. You're going to get Gonzaga, West Virginia today, Colorado, Iowa State. You get Texas A&M, Creighton today, Davidson, Arizona, Michigan, Xavier, San Diego State, Oregon, Notre Dame, Houston. UConn plays Dayton. I mean, it's been great, dude. And then tomorrow, Lobos in Arizona State. You get a Hurley tomorrow. You get the other Hurley. The Hurley who stands upright. I mean, I think it's good. We'll hear from Richard Pitino. He had a presser yesterday. We'll hear what he had to say. Jerry Palm's going to join us from CBSSports.com. We'll talk to him about the college football playoff standings that came out yesterday, what it all means moving forward, the NFL tomorrow, the rich get richer in Major League Baseball, JJ. It's only $38.5 million a year or whatever for a guy who'll probably start 30 games. I mean, I'm not going to tell that surprised me. I know it doesn't surprise you. The rich get richer. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Happy day before Thanksgiving on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView.
Athletics.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud...
It's 19 interceptions.
It's a different dude. And look, I wouldn't play well in cold weather. I didn't grow up in that mess. I don't play that. And you do, this is one of those, this was the Kenny Pickett thing in some regards. You know when they measure hand size? We made such a big deal at the Combine about Kenny Pickett's hand size. For a quarterback, when it gets to be cold, that becomes a factor. It does. Football's harder to get a hold of. It just does become an issue. All right, we're here for you today at 505-246-0610. By the way, there was action last night. Akron beat Toledo, and Buffalo beat Kent, if you care. Kent, I believe, ends the season at 0-12. They will not win a game. So they were the only, Kent State, the only team in America, the 134 FBS teams, that will go winless throughout the season. They lose 43-7 to Buffalo. Buffalo's 8-4 in the MAC. So is the MAC championship, that should be set now, right? Everybody's gone away from division, so it doesn't matter anymore. But the MAC, what are they going to do? They got 3 teams at 6-1. What are they going to do? I mean, this is leagues today. Miami, Ohio, and Bowling Green. Two of them will play for a MAC championship. I don't know who. Do you have any idea?
I do not know the MAC tiebreakers.
All right, 6 MAC bowl eligibles. The bowl system is tracking at 79 for 82 slots, with about 12 teams that are eligible, like New Mexico, sitting at 5 wins that could find ways in this week. Right? So you got a couple of 5 and 5s playing, or 5 and 6s playing each other, so somebody will win and get eligible in those games. But the system's tracking right towards the number. It's going to be really interesting to watch and see where that is. College football, you've got some interesting stuff coming up on Friday, right? They will play one game on Thursday that matters, Memphis at Tulane. And JJ, Heather Dinich made the point yesterday, the college football playoff standings came out. And there's Tulane. And you want to watch the world lose its mind? Brent Yormark, who's the commissioner of the Big 12, went out and did the right thing. This is his job. He went out yesterday and made a point that there is no way in his mind that Boise State should be above the Big 12 champion. And he said there's just went on and on and on about how strength of schedule and he did his job. It's what he is supposed to do. JJ, there is a situation where Tulane, who's sitting at 17, could win out, right? That means they who did I just tell you they played today? They play Memphis, who's a good team, 9-2. That's tomorrow. And Arizona State loses, and maybe even Boise State loses, and somehow Kansas State or Colorado win the Big 12. And the way this is worded is the top 4 highest ranked league champions get the bye. Not guaranteed to the Power 4. They might not even get in. The top 5 highest ranked league champions get into the playoff. There's a chance the Big 12 could get left out. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. But let's just say Arizona State gets beat this week by Arizona. Could happen. It's a rivalry. And somehow Kansas State, who's ranked 24th, or BYU, who's behind Tulane, end up winning the Big 12 championship. And Tulane wins over Memphis and beats Army in the American. Let's say they get up to 14. You want to see the world lose its mind and then tweak the system?
Yeah. There's going to be tweaks because it feels like there's not a good balance between strength of record and or strength of schedule and just your record overall. Because I think at some point you do have to acknowledge you are playing in better conferences.
So how do you
balance
better
opponents?
Do wins matter?
But wins matter, but then you also, with Indiana, that's when you're like, oof. One time you take a step up and you didn't look like you belonged on the same field. And so how to judge that too.
So who's better, Indiana or Tulane? Indiana or BYU? Indiana or Kansas State? I mean, at some point, 10-1 is 10-1, and they did play
I think the same,
Big Ten
but
schedule.
and I think a great pushback to that is Army and Navy.
Yeah.
Look what happened when they played Notre Dame,
and they both dropped,
got blued out the bill,
and they both fell off the map, right? They both fell off the map because of that. There's Tulane. Now, they've lost their 2 games against power conference teams. They lost to Kansas State 34-27. They lost to Oklahoma 34-19. By the way, I was right on this one. Boise State can get higher than number 12. They got to 11. but that was a real conversation, right? And I understand where you were coming from. I thought that at some point they were going to have to elevate them, and they elevated them all the way up to number 11 from 12. Look, man, I'm just telling you, crazy stuff's going to happen this week. It's just going to. And I don't know if it's going to be Friday. Boise State hosts Oregon State. Oklahoma State, Colorado. I mean, Ole Miss is still hanging around. Hell, are you going to be stunned if Georgia Tech beats Georgia and gives Georgia a 3rd loss? You're not, are you? I mean, that's a rivalry game. I don't think Michigan beats Ohio State, but Vandy could get Tennessee. That wouldn't stun you, would it? Vandy's already got Alabama. It's at Vandy. How's that going to stun you? All kinds of crazy bleep can happen. Will it blow your mind if SC beats Notre Dame? And what happens to Notre Dame, who's number 5? It won't, right?
No, I will be surprised.
Okay, there's a difference between surprise and blow your mind. Syracuse, Miami. I'm just telling you, 3 of these are going to happen. 3 of them. Because they do. Auburn, Alabama is always wacky. Arizona could beat Arizona State because it matters. Right? I don't think Washington beats Oregon, but I mean, tell me you haven't seen crazier bleep. A&M now, knocked out, down all the way to number 20. Tell me they can't beat Texas. Sure
they can beat Texas.
Sure they can. Can Nevada beat UNLV? Look, this thing isn't written yet, but the way it sits, if all these things happen and Tulane holds serve, and Tulane is a higher ranked conference champion than the Big 12 champ, and Boise State wins out, and the Big 12 gets left out of the playoff, and the American is in and the Mountain West is in, you want to see people lose their freaking minds?
We are going to have a very, very extensive conversation about strength of schedule after that.
Well, and the playoff, because the people, Big 12 is going to be saying, we need to be guaranteed. Well, no. I mean, the Big 12 is good. Who's the best team in the Big 12? Is there a really great team in the Big 12?
I would love to see what some of these spreads would be.
Like what? If for instance, BYU played Tulane?
Yeah.
Fair enough. And Kansas State already beat them, right? And that's Brett Yormark's conversation about Boise State. Like, Boise State's best win is their loss. It is.
Yes, it is. That's what everyone's talking about.
No, Boise State's best win is their loss. They beat Washington State. Okay, Washington State's now lost 2 in a row. They went on the road, beat Georgia Southern. Their best win is losing by a last-second field goal at number 1 Oregon. Their next best win is UNLV. And they won by 5. And by the way, and look, I'm going to tell you right now, I think there's a real chance UNLV beats them next week in the championship game. I think UNLV's playing really, really well. I think UNLV could clip them in the championship game. That would blow people's mind, too. 505-246-0610. There's a lot to do in college football this weekend. A lot to do. Dion's pissed. What's he pissed about? I'll tell you next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'll tell you what he's upset about. I'm going to tell you about John Thomas Jewelers first. If you're looking for that beautiful wow holiday gift, maybe it's an engagement ring or an anniversary gift, John Thomas Jewelers is your jeweler. Unique like no other jeweler. And it's a different spot, man. You got to want to go there. You don't just stumble across John Thomas Jewelers. They're on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building, across the street from the mall, east on right east side of the mall, across the university, 2440 Louisiana Northeast. You walk in there and you realize why they have been called America's coolest jewelry store by In-Store Magazine. They are the only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in town, the fastest-growing jeweler in New Mexico for 3 straight years, and voted best jeweler in Albuquerque for 4 straight years. They've got over 3,000 ladies and men's bridal rings for you to see, try on. They'll make molds of like your grandma's old ring, or they'll repurpose old jewelry. They do it right there. They got a state-of-the-art facility that they design everything right there. It's amazing. First time I walked in, I was like, wow, this place is different, and different in a good way. Whether it's engagement ring shopping or holiday shopping, whatever it is, go by and see John Thomas Jewelers. It's johnthomasjewelers.com. Visit them on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building, 1 block south of Manal, 2440 Louisiana Northeast. And you'll understand what I'm talking about. All right, so JJ, Deion Sanders took some time yesterday. He's unhappy, and I think he should be. Travis Hunter was not named a finalist for the Jim Thorpe Award, given to the best defensive back in college football. I just want you to wrap your mind around that. Travis Hunter is, I think, the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. You could argue he's the best receiver and best defensive back in football. He's the best player in football. And I don't know if this is, maybe the dude's going to win too many awards. We can't give him all. I don't know where and who votes for the Jim Thorpe Award. Quote Deion Sanders, how was Travis Hunter snubbed by the Jim Thorpe Award? You could have my award. You could have it back. Matter of fact, I'm going to give him mine. I ain't using it. Just sitting up there collecting dust. So Travis could have my Thorpe Award, because if this ain't the most idiotic thing in college football, that he's not a finalist for the Jim Thorpe Award, and I would say he is. I would say arguably, but I don't think it's really an argument about this young man being the best defensive back in college football, end quote. Okay. I again, Brett Yormark went to bat for his league. It's his job. Deion's going to bat for his guy. Thing here is he's absolutely right. And I'm not saying take it away from anybody else. Usually there's 4 finalists anyway, but is he not one of the 3 best defensive backs in college football?
I want to dive into this a little bit more, looking at some of the rankings, because just because you play both ways doesn't make you the best.
Okay, but my eyes tell me he's really good.
He's very good.
I'm listening. So convince me.
But I
okay,
haven't had time to break down
the other
really
guys.
Look at the other prospects.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of the Travis Hunter stuff is he's very good, but he plays both ways.
Yeah. But
he doesn't have elite numbers both ways, but he plays both ways. So it's like, well, you just need to give him everything.
So you think it's a numbers game, and that's fair too.
And now with secondary players, a lot of it too is, are they throwing your way or not? Because you're not going to have big numbers, and that plays into it. And
All the
that's
time.
a fair point.
All the time.
Your best cornerbacks in the league don't always have best interceptions or the most tackles,
Because you stay away.
You don't throw to them, and that plays into it. So I'm not saying it's just a stat game. I want to know a little bit more about the other players in this versus the fact that we know how good he is, but it feels like just because he plays both ways, there's his narrative, and I get it. It's the fan base. But Colorado's like, this is the best player in the entire country. He's very good. But is he the best cornerback? Is he the best wide receiver?
Fair. Totally fair. Totally fair. By the same token, and even if you come out and say, you know what, Jeff, he's not, and here's why, and you give me legitimate numbers, I still don't have a problem with what Deion's saying and how he said it. He didn't throw a tantrum. He went to bat for his dude, who he thinks is the best, and I have zero problem with what he said. And I'll bet he does give him his Thorpe Award. Like, I'll bet he does. Look, man, it's just sitting up here. Here, take it. It's yours. Because you should have one. I'll bet he does. Another thing Deion said, the trend of sitting out bowl games for top draft picks. You're well aware of it. We talk about the 50 or so dudes who sit out. We don't talk about the 8, 9, 10,000 who opt in. Deion said, quote, no, this isn't the last time you're going to see them in a Buffs uniform. He's talking about his seniors, and specifically Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. Quote, these two and all the rest of the seniors have done a wonderful job getting us where we are, instilling so much expectation in our fan base and expectation in ourselves. So we're going to fight and try to go out there and kick some butt and end this thing on the right note. And we're going to a bowl game in this thing on the right note because our fans deserve the absolute best, end quote. Basically alluding to that those guys will play in a bowl game. Now, obviously I'm biased. I run a bowl game. There's been talk in our industry and certainly outside of it. I kind of love it. Well, they may get hurt. Yeah, they may get hurt playing Kansas State this week or last week. I mean, they may get hurt in every game. Well, but it's one more. I got it. I love it. I'm not going to lie to you. I love what he said.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm biased.
Because it directly affects you. And it's a product. And
yeah, I understand.
I think a lot of it, too, is if you want to be in this NIL world, then you need to start realizing, hey, you can add things to this and say, if you and your team get postseason eligible, here's a bonus. I think, I know we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Bowl games might have to start figuring out how to figure that in, because with what's happening in college basketball, with the Players Era Tournament, where there's money involved, like those questions are going to start coming up.
So you feel, and I've talked to a number of people who run collectives, you feel that when you sign an NIL deal, it should only be for the regular season. It should not include the postseason.
Well, I think there needs to be language in it. What does it include?
Right.
Because there's players that will obviously say, well, we just got to a bowl game, so unless you don't give me another check, then I won't play this bowl game.
And so there's a big feel with a lot of people, not just in the bowl industry, that feel that the language in the NIL agreement mean when here's what you're going to make for this year, $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, whatever. that includes postseason, however far your team goes in a playoff or a bowl game. That it shouldn't that it should include that. It's not like it's not extra. That's part of your season.
Then you need to specify it.
Yeah, but I mean that's
not just assume.
But do you feel it should be extra, or do you feel it should be included? I mean, I certainly feel it should be included.
Think it should be however they specify it in language, because then you can start playing that game after.
Do you feel it should be standard language?
We have a 12-game schedule. That's what my NL deal is for. Not.
So do you think it should be standard language? Either it's more or it's included.
Yes,
I do too. And I firmly believe it should be included. Like you sign up to play the season. That's part of the season. Like you play until your team has no more games. 505-246-0610. That's how to get here today. If you found us on the AM or on the app or wherever it is you found us. When we get back, rich get richer. And boy, they got a lot of money. The champs just got another ace because, well, they need another ace. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
IPS is keeping people safe, businesses and homes all around Albuquerque and Santa Fe. You see their vehicles at the store. You see them in your neighborhood. Trusted them for years. To watch my home, it's affordable private security because property crime continues to be on the rise. The officer shortage continues to be an issue. IPS responds to alarms that go off that they monitor within 7 minutes or less. They've got officers strategically placed all around Albuquerque and Santa Fe. They react quickly many times to catch criminals in the act, detain them, and the police come and get them. IPS provides standing guards if you need eyes on your property around the clock. They'll install alarms and camera systems. They've got a state-of-the-art facility that monitors those cameras 24/7, raises the level of security around your home and business. So the question is, who's watching your home when you're not there? Make sure it's the good guys. Call IPS. Have them protect what you have worked so hard to build. 505-897-2420 is their number. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. JJ, the rich got richer yesterday. Came down last night. The Dodgers, the defending World Series champions, got best left-hander on the market, pitching. Blake Snell, starting pitcher.
Pretty darn good.
5 years, $182 million. I think it's like $38.5 million a year. I played it out yesterday. For a guy who will probably, it's $36.4 million a year. A lot of deferred money. He'll pitch once every 5-6 games, and probably, if you throw 5 innings, he'll make 30 starts if he stays healthy. 31 starts.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal.
That's over $1 million for every 5 innings pitched, right? The Dodgers, this is the 12th contract they've given out over $100 million. The 5th since the 2023 offseason. This is now 2024. I don't know if, Dodger fans are going, yep, we got all the money. And the Shohei thing has made them even richer because the amount of merchandise and sales and tickets and everything else that they're getting from the Japanese fan base has been huge. I don't know if you think there should be a salary cap if you want competitive balance. I don't know that Major League Baseball does. They're playing a different game. The Pirates and the Rockies are. They just are.
Yeah, if you have the money, spend it, man. It's easy to be jealous and bitter as opposing fans, but this is the system that was built by Major League Baseball. This is how it works with the money available with what you have as a franchise, and there's franchises that have owners that don't want to push the envelope, that are just year to year get by. We don't have to invest, and then you have the top of the market, and that's Major League Baseball. And I think also part of the reason baseball is also ridiculously long throughout the summer, but more and more so it becomes regionalized because it's not a lot of compelling stuff to get you in June and July to tune into baseball.
$52 million signing bonus. So when he signed yesterday, they cut him a check for $52 million. Well, taxes, JJ. So I mean, California taxes too. So he might have only got about $30 million of that. The $182 million contract is the third largest for a left-handed pitcher in Major League history on total value of the deal. David Price signed a $217 million deal with the Red Sox, in 2015. And Clayton Kershaw, $215 million back in 2014. But it's just another massive deal. I mean, they've handed out 5 contracts north of $100 million since last offseason. He's good now. I mean, he's in his prime. He's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner, opted out of his final year of his deal with the Giants, became a free agent, and then he goes to the arch rival. Shohei, Yamamoto, Glasnow, May, Gonsolin, Bobby Miller, Kershaw, should he resign? They got a lot of pitchers, dude, but, I mean, they know that pitchers are on the
half
shelf.
of them are going to go on the IL.
Yeah.
So you need a lot of options.
Yeah, and that's what they have. It's kind of crazy, though, man. I mean, like, the rich just get richer. And if you're a Dodger fan, you got to appreciate we're not sitting on our laurels, right? Yeah, we just won, but let's go get better.
Of course.
How did we win?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd you win? And you kind of piece it together with your starting pitching.
Yeah, what they did with their pitching throughout the postseason, Dave Roberts was phenomenal. And now they're just adding a couple more insurance plans to that.
For $182 million. $52 million signing bonus, by the way. I mean, whatever that means to you. Because it would be something. All right, here's what we're doing today. 8:30 this morning, we're going to hear from Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. We'll talk to him as we go into the weekend, final weekend of the regular season in college football, thoughts on the CFP, his thoughts on the potential. And I think it's a long shot, and I think it's a really long shot. But I don't think it's a no shot that Tulane ends up as the American champion and Boise State as the Mountain West champion, both higher than the Big 12 champion, which would mean the Big 12 would be left out of the playoff, the American and the Mountain West would get in. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's set up that there's a possibility if you have complete chaos, and then what? And then people lose their minds, right? Chaos. We got to go to 16 teams then, right? Because, 12 is not nearly enough. I'm just telling you, or 14, or whatever it is to get people. That's what the
big conference gets left out. That's what's going to happen. But I think a lot of this, too, is a learning process for balancing criteria about how they're analyzing teams from power conferences and those outside power conferences.
Yeah. 505-246-0610. The argument is, well, then let's just play one less league game and play another cupcake. If that's what we're going to do, let's just win. Okay?
Which is why I do think it needs to be addressed. Because I'm not saying to discredit them, but we're loving Army and Navy, and they finally step up to the plate. They don't look like they belong on the same field.
Yeah, but Tulane might. Boise State might. What do you want to hear from Richard Pitino? We'll do that when we come back. Lobo's getting ready to go to Palm Springs, what Richard Pitino had to say yesterday in regards to the trips coming up. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
With 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Day before you grub big. Maybe you're going to eat big today, too. Thankful for all y'all who join us every day. We know how fortunate we are to do what we do and to be able to do it with you who are part of the show. We head into Thanksgiving tomorrow. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. The day before, and JJ, I know you join me in knowing how good we've got it, how lucky we are, and thankful for the opportunity to get to do what we do on a daily basis, and the people with whom we get to do it.
Absolutely, it's a wonderful opportunity. So many awesome things from it, and appreciate everyone that gives us a chance to do this.
Yeah, and thank you sincerely. Thank you for finding us every single day and being with us. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Lobos go to Palm Springs. Actually, they went yesterday. And they will play Arizona State. It's the Acrisure Classic. You see it going on. I saw a game out of there last night. What did I watch? Like SMU and Cal Baptist, I think, is what I watched yesterday. The game's on, or the games were on News Radio KKOB. And it'll be tomorrow night, the first game, and then Friday night, the second game, and you can listen to Kenny Thomas afterwards and talk to Kenny about the game. Richard spoke yesterday. JJ, free throws are going to be an issue at some point. And in tight games, they're going to have to make free throws. They're not shooting free throws well. In fact, I think they're the 5th lowest percentage free throw shooting team of all the 360, whatever Division I teams they are. And so... what is that? 62.3%. So they're 336 out of 364. So they're not 5th worst. They're just 336, JJ. So they're not the 5th worst team in college basketball. But the guys who are going to be shooting free throws, Nelly, Dent, True, they're all below 70%. So Richard was asked about it yesterday. And how do you fix free throws?
No. This is year 13. There's nothing to do besides make him shoot them, practice them. But you're not the first media member to ask that question, and I don't have an answer. You can't simulate playing in front of 11, 12,000 people. You try to make it about their mechanics as best you can. But other than that, no. I mean, I think I think Donovan's percentage will go up. I think True's will go up. We shoot them every day.
He was in a mood yesterday. He was in a mood yesterday. He started off talking about how great college basketball is, and I love football and I understand football is what it is. But boy, he loved, and he's not wrong.
No, it's something that could cause a whole lot of anxiety around here with all the changes.
Expound.
It's changed, man. And last year, of course, Rich Pitino, if you get an opportunity, Louisville wants to just dabble with you, you're going to listen. But the way Lobo fans feel about this, it changes now for coaches because this isn't the same Mountain West or a lot of the stuff they signed up for. And so the pressure it's kind of different now.
I had somebody tell me yesterday that they believe, and again, Richard's not going to talk about this until the day he leaves. Would he take the South Florida job now? Right? Two off seasons ago, he was offered the South Florida job for $1.8 million, and he stayed here. JJ, your point's not wrong. It's a different league than he signed up for, different leadership than he came to work for. You got a new athletic director coming in, a guy that's going to come in and no disrespect to Fernando Lobo, right? He's got two high-profile coaches. A football coach has been at Virginia and BYU. He's got a basketball coach that was at Minnesota, right? Two established veterans in this industry. And you're going to have a young man who's never been the boss before come in on Monday and say, hey, guys, I'm your boss. It's going to be an interesting dynamic. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Braden Appelhans has been playing pretty well. And it's a guy that I know a lot of people root for around here. But not just Braden. I mean, the bench is going to be key. But Richard was asked about Braden Appelhans and the play of the bench.
Is looking more comfortable than Phillip out there. I think Phillip will get there. I thought that was a great step in the right direction. Ideally, you want everybody to look that way. I was giving Cade crap earlier, just messing around with him about, I'm not going to play him versus Arizona State. He said, you never play me in the big games. And I said, well, don't look like you're going to vomit like you did versus Madison Square Garden. And he said, I'll be ready. And I said, I know you will. And they're all going to, Cade, his minutes will increase. I really love his game. He's going to be really, really good. I think I just look at Phillip like a freshman, too. So it's more about just comfort level. And I think a lot of these games are great for them. And it's hard when you're playing at St. John's, you're playing UCLA, then you're going to go play in this tournament to get guys acclimated. But, yes, I hope Phillip takes that and really, grow some confidence and belief in himself.
Cade Dotson, the freshman point guard, I thought played really well in the UCLA game. And in fact, he was put in a situation when Donovan Dent went down with about 7.5 minutes to go, and Lobo's up by, I want to say 13, maybe it was 15 at the time. But all of a sudden, here's a freshman against UCLA. Donovan Dent's out, you're the guy. And I thought he played really well. You heard Richard talk about True Washington and what he brings. And this is a guy that I really think they're going to lean on, not just to score, and not even necessarily to score. Defense, energy, a guy that I think you're going to see a big bump in production. And Richard talked about True Washington.
But that's what he needs to be, just energy, rebounds, steals. Everybody wants to score, but and he can score, as he showed that, but sometimes he gets a little caught up in trying to score off the bounce. But that was the big thing we talked about before last game was energy. How do you get it? I think young people don't quite value what goes into getting energy, a good night's sleep, putting your phone away, putting the Xbox away, rehab, all those little things, because I just thought our legs looked really, really good in that game. And now you're going to go play 2 games in a row. So what are we doing leading up to that? But True set the tone in a big way.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to be terrific. All right, Kenny Thomas was in yesterday, and I saw your smile when he brought this up. Kenny says, I want to see Nelly Jr. Joseph and Atiki Atiki play at the same time. The two bigs, the two 6'10" guys. You and him had a good conversation about that. And Richard was asked about that exact thing yesterday in his press conference, and here's what he said.
Yeah, that suggestion has got to stop between the two of you, unless you want just an absolute disaster offensively. I honestly, seriously, it's not as insane. I've thought about it. I don't know if I'll do it, just because it's gonna be hard to. Nelly, although shot a 3 the other day, I don't know if that's necessarily him, but Atiki, I think, will get better and better every game, and I think you're just going to see it. And he's another guy, really like him a lot, but he didn't have a huge role at BYU, and just like Phillip and just like the freshman and Sacco, I think you're going to see a great progression from those guys. Atiki, phenomenal athlete, quick to the basketball. Loved the block shots last game. Certainly needs to work on scoring down low, but I think that'll come. I really do. So very, very happy to have them. And I don't think I'll ever go with those two bigs together. I'm not sure that will work.
Will you save that for when Kenny's in next Tuesday, please? Because Kenny's been pushing that a lot.
It's like, okay, well, you want to see them on the court because you like the defense, the rebounding.
Yeah.
Where do they function offensively? Because is either of them a good passer? Can either of them survive at the free throw line? And when two bigs are on the floor together, one of them has to be able to pass out of the high post. You can't just put two of them on the block, and then you have no lane available. And when you have two bigs playing at the same time, you think back, what were two really good bigs that played at the same time? Cameron Barstow and Alex Kirk. Because what could they do?
Pass.
They could pass, and they could hit a jumper.
Yeah, and they could both step out. Yeah.
To have two bigs, one of them has to be able to create space. Nelly and Atiki don't create space.
All right, lastly, on these multi-team events and the NIL that goes with it, and they're going to Palm Springs, they get the exposure, they get teams they don't get to see, they get resume-building opportunities. Richard was asked about the MTs, like the multi-team events like they're playing in Palm Springs.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's trying to figure it out. I think everybody agreed paying the players was a great idea, and I think everybody's trying to figure out where the heck this thing's going to go because the current model is certainly not sustainable. But yeah, you're playing games like that, and you're on national TV, and you're selling tickets. Sure, like find a way to involve the players in it as best you can. So. I don't know. I mean, I think I hope it turns to a point where it's in the school's hands and we get a little more law and order than we have right now. But yeah, you're playing these games. I think why not? You know, it's a pretty cool concept. That's for sure.
Right. You can respond to that 505-246-0610. It's all there for you. Great opportunities. Players are making a couple of bucks, and you're enjoying great games. I mean, this thing that got going in Palm Springs, you're getting great games out of it. So. All right, if you're on the phones, we'll get to you when we get back. Jerry Palm at 8:30, 3 for All at 9:30, 505-246-0610 is how to get here and be part of the radio show on this day before Thanksgiving. Hey, if you're still searching for that ideal venue, you got a event, a reception, a holiday party, a gala, whatever it is, from 10 people to 20,000 people, the Albuquerque Convention Center will take care of you and take care of you in a way that you will be thrilled. They accommodate anything imaginable with over 600,000 square feet of beautiful, flexible indoor and outdoor meeting space in the heart of downtown Albuquerque. From intimate meetings and gatherings to grand expos and conferences, they've got staff and service and food and beverage options that will go above and beyond. Your dream event becomes reality. Diverse layouts. It's every planner's desire. They got the exterior and interior walls decorated with local art. Great food and beverage options. Right in the historic downtown area. Parking adjacent, plenty of it with the parking structure. Every year, we take the players from Isleta, New Mexico Bowl, and they do an event there on Thursday night. We're doing it again this year because they take care of our guests. They'll take care of yours as well. I know you've been to events there. You love it. Have your event there. It will be the event that everybody was glad they were at. Take a look online. It's at albuquerquecc.com. Look at what they've got and then give them a call. 505-768-4575. 505-768-4575. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. Be at the center of it all.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled.
Happy Thanksgiving, gentlemen. You know, in the book of Proverbs, it says, chapter 25, verse 17, by the way, seldom set foot in your neighbor's house because he'll soon get tired of you and wary of you. You guys do such a great job, and you allow guys like me and others to call in and step into your house, right, and share our thoughts and opinions. And over the years, we've forged relationships, great relationships, and like the dysfunctional family that comes over for Thanksgiving, right, the drunk uncle, the nervous aunt that talks too much and has verbal diarrhea, and whatever landscape your family may look like. We don't always have to get along. We don't always seek confirmation bias. And more than a few things can be right given people's perspectives. So that's my way of saying thank you for having this platform, bringing joy to our lives, entertainment value, the interviews. I'm still thinking about Richard Pierce from last week, his amazing endeavor in the city with his peers, giving out free food. And, I've just thoroughly enjoyed it. So I just want to extend my gratitude towards you two and our friendship as well. So thank you for that.
Appreciate that. I know that. You know how I know it was impactful? You never remember names. The fact that you remember Richard Pierce's name means that really stuck with you because you never remember names. So
that's right.
Yeah.
I don't. I can't remember my own name at times. But, your daughter coming home from Thanksgiving, it wasn't that long ago, Jeff Symbieta, when we would venture home from college on Thanksgiving weekend. And it's such a great time in young people's lives. And I'm thrilled for Addie and her endeavors there at the University of Michigan. And it's an amazing time. And soon, young Mr. Buck's son will be venturing home from college. And it's just an amazing time. Regarding the college football playoff, just to quote the Joker, when Heath Ledger played the Joker, he says, just introduce a little bit of anarchy and chaos into the system and see what happens.
You got it.
And that's kind of what I'm rooting for, anarchy and chaos. So anyway, thanks for giving us a platform to share our thoughts, and happy Thanksgiving to you two gentlemen.
Thank you. Appreciate the kind words. Thanks. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Jeff?
Yeah, first off, thanks to you both for giving us this platform, as Edward, indicated, and we have a lot to be grateful for, and I appreciate our friendship, Jeff. But as far as Bettino, I've seen Lobo basketball since 1971, something like that. I really like him. I got to meet him a couple of times. Obviously, in terms of his coaching acumen, he knows how to recruit. I think, obviously, he knows X's and O's. But what I probably most appreciate about him is he's a sincere person. You ask him a question, and he's candid. He doesn't engage in a lot of these dumb platitudes, and just based on how he thinks and feels, he answers the question.
I agree.
And I think that's part of his East Coast, New York zeitgeist, but I just appreciate his sincere attitude, and as long as he's here, let's appreciate, what he's doing for the program as well. In conclusion, we have a lot to be grateful for, and thank you for the program, and have a great Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Jeff, for you as well, to your family. Richard has been, JJ, I've said this so many times. I like his demeanor because I don't think he gets too high or too low. When he gets angry, it's warranted. When they win a big game, he puts it in perspective. They lose a game that hurts, he puts it in perspective. I think he's been a hell of a coach. Obviously, he's turned the program around and the excitement, he's recruited well. I think he's terrific with the media. I think he gets it, and maybe that's growing up his dad's kid and watching how that worked. Maybe but he's his own guy.
Big environments.
Yeah,
entirely coaching.
Well, but Fran Fraschilla was in a big environment when he came here.
Not the same.
It was no.
They're not. We're.
Go ahead.
He was in New York, but that doesn't mean everything in New York is covered.
No, but it was big environment. Yeah, I agree with you. Like Fran came in and said, "Well, I was in New York. I can handle this." And yeah, in New York, you hide behind 13 other teams when you're St. John's. The Jets, the Giants, the Knicks, the Nets, the Mets, the Yankees.
Global men's basketball, you're number one.
Everything you do is there, and I think Richard understands it, but B appreciates it for what it is and takes the good with the bad and realizes that there's more good than there is inconvenience. And he said on our show last week, I'm more patient. When he was playing against his dad, and I'm more patient with some of the media questions that we've heard before. He's been one of my favorite coaches over the 28 years here to work with because in this capacity, because I've always felt that he's as honest as a coach can be, right? I mean, every coach has an agenda. Every coach has a message that they want to get out, and I understand that, and that's part of the game, and they should. But I feel that he's been the most candid, and Danny and Rocky were both that way. Danny Gonzalez and Rocky Long were both very, very candid, or certainly when they started. But Richard, I think his demeanor's been great, and I think people appreciate that. Now, to your point, man, is this a different job that he took, 3.5 years ago, whenever it was? Yeah, the league's different. The leadership's different. I mean, how did you put it earlier? I mean, there's changes. What would you say? I don't remember how you said it, but
it's one that you're always going to have some hesitation when good things happen with coaches or players at the University of New Mexico. It's the landscape that you're in now in the new era of college athletic. Coaches were always going to potentially move on, but now players can move on easier to better opportunities in terms of potential financial benefits. But now I think that ramps up, and all these people that there's no way these guys are going, they're locked in, can't say that anymore after the gigantic changes
Yeah.
that we saw with, of course, distant leadership in the Mountain West Conference.
And the buyouts were dropped, right? Both Bronco and Richard Pitino had it written in their contract. Their buyouts get cut. I'm pretty dramatically, from what I understand. When Eddie, if and when, and it was when Eddie Nunez left, when there was a change in leadership. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. And the rumors are out there, and you see them swirling about Utah State, and you got a new athletic director. What starts next week? It's yeah, man. It's going to be interesting. Got a text yesterday, by the way. We were talking about Neosporin and how to get in the tube. They put toothpaste and Neosporin in the bottom of the tube and then seal it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course they do. I think I knew that.
That makes sense.
You can see the bottom where there's. I'm pretty sure I knew that. But
I'm pretty sure I didn't because I didn't say it. So
yeah, certainly with the Neosporin. I mean, right, or the little.
How it's like crimped at the bottom.
All right, let's talk college football playoff when we get back.
How things are made. Love it.
Jerry Palm from CBS Sports.
Bridges. What's up with Bridges?
Bridges blow my mind. I'm not going to lie, dude. Think of the bridges at the bottom of the ocean. Like, how do you get down there and seal that cement? And those guys, and honestly,
what's the deal?
Bridges don't blow your mind a little bit.
It's engineering, man. Engineering's a heck of a thing.
Jerry Palm next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
And the late window of college football last weekend was insane. Teams holding on. Boise State holds on. I mean, I think if Wyoming's quarterback doesn't get concussed, that Boise might have got beat up in Laramie. I watched number 7 Alabama, number 9 Ole Miss, number 14 BYU, number 15 A&M, number 16 Colorado, number 19 Army all get beat. The whole thing gets shaken up. And I'm just telling you, it's not done because college football in November, this mess happens. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Normally we do it on Thursdays, but since you're all going to be eating tomorrow, we're going to do it on Wednesday. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports joins us. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Thank you for your flexibility. How you living?
I'm all right. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys, too.
What a silly weekend it was last week. I mean, and really late window for you, but we're sitting around watching stuff. I don't know what was more bonkers, but Alabama to me was the most stunning. Ole Miss getting beat was crazy. A&M going down. And Jerry, I'm just telling you, we're going to get at least 3 more this weekend.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Alabama is stunning because of, losing on the road, happens. If they had lost like they lost at Vanderbilt, you wouldn't be talking about it quite as much. You would because it's Alabama and they got upset, but they scored 3 points.
Yeah, against an Oklahoma team that's not good.
How does, the last time they scored 3 points?
No.
It was like 2003. And Nick Saban was on the other sideline as coaching LSU. That was like 27-3. Mike Shula was coaching Alabama.
Good days.
And that's the last time Alabama had a performance this bad. And that's, 20 years?
And they still may get in, Jerry. They still may find a way in.
I know. Well, the committee does love them some Alabama.
Yeah.
That is the unquestioned truth. Give them a chance to put Alabama in the field. They're going to put Alabama in the field.
Let's play this scenario out because Heather Dinich talked about it yesterday, and this is where everybody loses their mind. Tulane wins out. Somehow the American champion is ranked, let's just say 14. And I don't know, BYU. There's no way, right? They don't let it happen, or is there just
no? It's just there isn't enough chaos that can happen to cause Tulane to jump that high.
What if Kansas? Okay, what if BYU? I guess what you're saying is if the Big 12 champion is BYU or whomever it is, the wins that they have in front of them would be enough to get them over Tulane.
I don't believe Tulane can finish ahead of the Big 12 champion unless it's somebody like West Virginia or maybe Texas Tech. But just about anybody else is going to finish ahead of Tulane.
All right, because you want to see a system blow its absolute cork. That's it right there.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think?
It would take something. Yeah, certainly they're not going to finish ahead of a 2-loss team, and I don't think they're going to finish ahead of most of the 3-loss teams either. If they do what it takes to win the Big 12, they're going to get the juice to go by Tulane.
All right, if they win,
the problem for Tulane,
yeah,
is that the American doesn't really give them, like Memphis is 9-2, but they're not on the radar of the committee. Army and Navy both got a cup of coffee in the rankings because they were undefeated, but the strength of schedule for the teams in that league is just brutal, and there just isn't going to be a way a 2-loss Tulane is getting into this playoff, barring it's not past a Big 12 champion anyway.
Jerry, when you look at the games with the big ones, Georgia Tech at Georgia, Texas A&M, and Jeff was talking about chaos, but is there any that you see where you like the upset or the underdog?
What I picked for my upset of the week is USC over Notre Dame.
I told you that. See? Yep.
And the reason for that is that USC has got the kind of athletes that can play with Notre Dame.
Yep.
Now, their record doesn't really reflect that. They haven't been good on the road, and they've only taken one road trip that wasn't at least a 3-hour flight. I guess it's close to 3 hours to Seattle, but and that was UCLA, the one road game they won. Get on a bus and go across town and beat them. But at home they've been good. At home they've been pretty good. I mean, they almost beat Penn State. They beat everyone else.
They should have.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, they should have beat Penn State.
They and then they beat LSU in Vegas, and LSU's that's a team with guys. That's maybe not a great team, but it's not because they're not athletic. So Notre Dame has not played a team with athletes like USC has since they played Texas A&M.
I agree.
And it's been 10 weeks off for Notre Dame since that game, and they lost one of those games anyway. So, yeah, I mean Notre Dame's certainly capable of winning, absolutely favored as they should be, but that's the one game where I think the home team might have a little something for them.
ACC took a little jump. You got two teams in the top 10, Miami, SMU, Clemson right there. How do you see that playing out?
Yeah, it's a little respect for SMU, probably overdue, actually.
Yes.
Jumped Indiana. They got up to 9, right?
SMU's at 9. Yeah, SMU's 9.
Yeah, so they jumped Alabama and Indiana, both of whom lost. I think they were already ahead of Boise. So, that's good for the ACC. I think it gives them a cushion, assuming those teams win this week, SMU and Miami win this week and are playing each other next week. I think it gives them a cushion to get both those teams in. Really, the only way something like that goes sideways, and by the way, I hadn't published yet. It's published Friday. But I wrote about what happens to championship game losers in the history of the college football playoff rankings. And generally speaking, if you lost your conference championship game as the lower-ranked team and the game was competitive, you held your spot. Now, you're still subject to teams jumping over you that won their league. You're subject to the movement of teams from other leagues.
Yep.
But you're not going to take a beating unless you actually took a beating in the game as the lower-ranked team.
Fair.
So, SMU, even if they lose to Miami, if they're competitive, is probably still in at 11-2.
They better get there first. Jerry Palm's with us from CBS
Sports. Get there
first. Let me look. I'm looking, and this slate is so good. I'm going to give you a bunch of games. Okay, right. Whether it's Memphis, Tulane, Oregon State, Boise State. Look, I don't think it's out of the realm that Georgia Tech can get Georgia. Vanderbilt has beat Alabama. Tell me they can't beat Tennessee at home. You add USC, Notre Dame. South Carolina could get Clemson. Hell, Arizona in a rivalry game could get Arizona State. Oklahoma State could get Colorado. You're going to put it beyond Auburn to beat Alabama? I don't think Michigan gets Ohio State. Syracuse, Miami. Washington, Oregon might be a stretch. I'm just telling you, at least 3 of those games are going to go upset, and I would bet the number is higher than that. It's just because crazy things happen.
Well, I mean, that would certainly be crazy. I don't think Alabama's losing to Auburn.
I don't think so
they're
either.
Losing 2 in a row. I just don't.
All right.
Clemson, South Carolina is at Clemson. That's an advantage. But that's an evenly matched game, so I don't even consider whichever team wins to be an upset. But Clemson winning, especially if Clemson wins big, they're sitting at 12. Could they jump Indiana? especially if Indiana is lackluster against Purdue, which I literally do not expect.
No, they're going to pound.
I think Indiana's going to try and hang 70 on Purdue. And Purdue is not equipped to stop it. Yeah. It's one of the worst Purdue football teams I've ever seen. And I'm 60. So there's some, Texas and A&M. I mean, Texas is favored, should be favored. A&M's got an inexperienced quarterback, but that's the biggest game. Those two have played against each other maybe ever. Certainly in the top 5 ever in that rivalry. There's certainly rivalry week is
stuff happens,
it's a thing. It's stuff definitely happens during rivalry week, and I would not be so dismissive of Michigan because Michigan's got athletes. The difference between Michigan and Ohio State primarily is coaching. And they're at home. Ohio State's at home for this. But,
Michigan put up 50 points last week.
Ohio State is much better coached than Michigan. Yeah. But Michigan is underachieved, but that doesn't mean they can't rise up for this one.
Put up 50 points last week. All right, I'm asking you one hoop question before we get out of here. Assess Dan Hurley's act the last couple of days. And understanding he's a great coach, probably the best coach in college basketball. He's won 2 championships. Like he gets leeway, I guess. I got my thoughts on his act the last couple of days, but what'd you think?
Dan has always had a little Bob Knight in him. Just has.
I said earlier.
It doesn't go to the extremes that Bob does of throwing a chair, but man, that guy yells. He's a yeller. He gets mad, and he has trouble controlling that anger. And so we've seen it the last 2 days. He's taken it out on the refs. He's probably taking it out on his team too, and behind closed doors. But that's his personality. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I'm a fan of him as a coach in general because he's so successful and knows how to run a great program, and he's by all accounts doing it the right way. So I'm more of a fan than not. But when things go bad for him, he doesn't take it very well.
I said Bobby Knight earlier. Dude is so good. But what's your message? You're falling down like a 5-year-old throwing a tantrum on the sideline when a call doesn't go your way. You're beating the hell out of it. By the way, it's November and you're in Maui. Like that's when you're supposed to chill, right? And I get it. The games matter and it's a high intensity.
I don't really think chill is in Dan's repertoire.
Yeah, a grown ass man falling down, throwing a tantrum on the sideline is. I just and I like I told JJ earlier. If you were sitting here, you got to be better than that, don't you?
Yeah, he's like Bobby Knight in a lot of ways. He just is, And Bobby was very successful, and and so Danny's very successful. Yeah. But you that's one of those guys where you take the good with the bad.
Yeah. By the way, how good's college basketball been the last couple of days? It's been.
You know what? I haven't hardly watched it because I'm so involved in football. Yeah. I haven't had much of a chance to watch, but I did catch some of Maui yesterday, waiting for the ranking show to start. So I was watching Memphis and Michigan State. Memphis looks pretty good.
Yeah, Memphis looks really good.
And Auburn is lighting it up. Well, you better watch out for Auburn. If I have a chance to watch Auburn tonight. In the final, I'm gonna try and watch them.
Kansas without Dickinson, really, really good. There's been some great college hoops. All right, we'll catch you next Thursday. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Have a great holiday with your family. Appreciate your flexibility. Appreciate your contributions to our show. We're like I told JJ, man, we're really thankful for you and the friendship that you and I have built over the years and what you add to our show and our listeners. And just hope you have a great holiday.
Well, right back at you, and thank you very much. And I definitely appreciate being on with you guys all the time and also the relationship we have built as well.
Yeah, be well, enjoy the weekend, and we'll catch up next week.
All right, thanks.
Take care. He is Jerry Palm from CBS Sports, and good dude.
Making you feel good, agreeing with your opinions.
Well, and I didn't plant that with him, right? No. That's kind of what I said. And like Jerry and I, over the years, and how we met? Remember our guy Red Dog Adam when you and I did the show in the closet years ago? When Jerry had his own website,
like College BCS.
That's what it was. And over the years, and I've seen Jerry over the years at events, and had lunch with him in Indiana this summer, and just he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude, and he knows his stuff. And I just think he adds a whole ton of content to our listeners. each and every week. All right, 505-246-0610. You can get in on what he had to say. We're going to do 3 for All coming up at 9:30, so you can bet against us and make some money. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sports Animal. All right, a little breaking news out of the National Football League for you. Good Wednesday morning. Opening drive, Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck. See the breaking news? After being cut by the Giants last week, Daniel Jones has a new home. The former Giants quarterback is going to sign with the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
That was one of the places that we said really makes sense yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Became a free agent Monday of this week. He was cut last week. He cleared waivers, right? Nobody wanted to pay that big dollar salary, that contract. And so he goes to Minnesota, where he'll serve as the backup to another former New York quarterback. Former Jets quarterback Sam Darnold is the starter there and certainly has revitalized his career there. Vikings are 9-2, although none of you believe in the Vikings. They are still 9-2. Behind Sam Darnold. Now, this is a short-term deal, certainly because J.J. McCarron is there, and that's their long-term answer. But Kevin O'Connell, who is the head coach there, who yesterday, quote, I will say tons of respect for Daniel Jones as a player in person. Got to know him through the draft process years ago. I'm sure now that he's a free agent and there's probably a ton of league-wide interest in him, Daniel's going to make the best decision for him and his career moving forward. I'm sure he's working through that process right now. I can just say that I've been a big fan of Daniels for a long time, and I hope wherever his next step takes him, it's a good opportunity for him. End quote. Yesterday, Kevin O'Connell, who is now his new head coach. It's a great move for him. And for Kevin O'Connell, he's like, damn, I had Nick Mullen. Now I can have this guy as my backup if Darnold goes down. And the Vikings believe, and you may not, but they believe they've got a shot to go to the Super Bowl.
And this is a really good landing spot for Daniel Jones. You're looking at these guys that are trying to rejuvenate themselves, get in their chance. It's a good offensive system with talent, a good offensive head coach, and Kevin O'Connell. And it makes a lot of sense, too, to potentially parlay this into Daniel Jones being the backup next season, because who knows what's going to happen with Sam Darnold, and does he want to try to chase an opportunity, because J.J. McCarthy is going to have to play at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be next year.
Well,
so Daniel Jones could be in there, yes, a backup plan in case of emergency, but could parlay this into a solid role next year.
I think their quarterback situation is going to be really, really interesting. And I think a big chunk of it is going to be determined by how far they go in the playoffs. If they get to, let's just say they get to the NFC Championship game. All right, what are they? They're the 5 seed now, right? In the NFC, they're behind the division winners. They're the number 1 wild card, and that's assuming they don't win their division, because Detroit is 10-1. Boys and girls, Vikings are only 1 game behind the Lions.
And Sam Darnold, that was a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, does he come back there, or is he the next Raiders stopgap, or is he Seattle's guy, or is he? I mean, you know where he'd fit? I know people laugh at me because it can't happen. He'd be really good with the Jets.
Yeah, I'd be sending that call right to voicemail.
Yeah, that's right. No, if you're him, because it's a mess. All right, 3 for all at the bottom of the hour at 9:30. You can respond to what Jerry Palm had to say. I thought some of the stuff he said about Dan Hurley. I mean, not just because he agrees with me, but I thought it was interesting. And I'm just call your upset in college football, because I'm just telling you they're coming. There's too many big rivalry games with too much juice to them. Something's happening that you don't see coming. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, going into a just gigantic long weekend with college basketball, phenomenal. Kansas Duke yesterday was great. The Alabama-Houston game was great. Big win for the Mountain West with San Diego State beating Creighton. Lobo basketball tomorrow against Arizona State. Lobo women tonight. You got one tonight. JJ will have it out against UC Irvine a bit.
Feast.
The NFL tomorrow. You got games right here on the Sports Animal. Bears and Lions, Giants and Cowboys, and then Miami and Green Bay. So there's so much for you, and we're here for you at 505-246-0610. Come on in today. What are you thankful for? And would love to hear what you have to say. Appreciate Jerry Palm being with us as well. But yeah, and I know wherever you found us, appreciate you finding us today. All right, I want to go. Can I go off script a little bit here, like a little bit off? We talk NIL, and I know there's this big NIL tournament going on in Las Vegas this week, and there's guardrail talk. Richard Pitino just talked about bringing it in-house. We played you some of that sound from yesterday. One of the big NIL stories has been the recruitment of the quarterback, Underwood. Was it Bryce Underwood, JJ, at Michigan? And LSU recruited him and got a verbal commit from this quarterback who's supposedly really, really good. He's from Michigan. And there was Dave Portnoy from Barstool, and I told you the story when I was in Michigan. A guy said we should buy him. Portnoy just gave us $3 million to go buy a quarterback. And that
wasn't even enough.
No, hardly. But then there's a story about there's this woman who is a Michigan fan, and she put up a bunch of money. I want you to listen to this was on 104.5 in Baton Rouge, talking about the recruitment of Underwood and where we are in college athletics. So I want you to listen to this.
Sounds like LSU recruited Bryce Underwood for 3 years, formed a great relationship with him, developed a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, got him to campus a dozen times, put an incredible class around him, and using NIL dollars, made him a very lucrative NIL offer to secure his commitment and deter him from taking any visits anywhere else. and the owner of Barstool Sports, a Michigan alum, and a woman who married a rich guy, likes Michigan football, and just has limitless money, said, well, we just go get the quarterback. What's his Skype number? I'd like to at least hear that the Michigan coaching staff got back on the phone with him and had some different things to say, and that included the NIL offer. Not just that, well, here's Dave Portnoy and a rich guy's wife who went to Michigan in the early 2000s. Yeah, can you take this phone call? Joe Sloan's calling. He's going to talk to you about the way that they'll develop you for the NFL and the type of offense you want to run. Portnoy's got a T-shirt sale coming up on Friday, and you'll get the proceeds of that. And that right there, to me, is all of my worst fears. LSU staff did everything right, and people that are just rich won the day with no ability. I just assumed when I read this piece that the Oracle guy went to Michigan. His wife went to Michigan, and she wants a quarterback, and he's got so much money, who cares? So I'll just give this 18-year-old who I've never heard of, who might be good or might not be good, $12 million because my wife's a little bit cranky that Michigan's passing games last in the Big Ten. It sounds like...
Thank you, boys and girls. Welcome to 2024.
Welcome to Name, Image, and Likeness.
Yeah. I mean, did that guy just sum it up really well?
Yes, he did.
And Edward sent me that. I appreciate him sending me that clip. That's it, dude. That sums it up. And I don't think he's too far off.
He's not.
LSU got a verbal commit. They gave him, committed a bunch of money. And Michigan came at last minute and said, hey, we got more money. And he's right. Some rich guy's wife was unhappy that Michigan's passing game isn't good. And they went and got a quarterback. And LSU fan is choked. Like they are. And I get it. They'll go find another quarterback. They're going to be fine. Don't feel too bad for LSU. They'll find somebody who they can spend their money on. But that is NIL and recruiting in a nutshell. I mean, tell me where I'm wrong on this.
You're right on.
You know the beneficiaries are? Guys like Rudy, alumni, law school alumni. My daughter's like, I think NIL's out of control, but it's okay when it benefits us, right? Rudy, is that guy wrong? Hi, Rudy.
Well, yeah, his narrative fits LSU's whining, but to be perfectly honest, Underwood wanted to be a Wolverine. Have you seen the film of this kid?
Yeah.
When he's a little kid, announcing his commitment to Michigan. So the only person that could screw that up was Jim Harbaugh, and that's what he did. And for whatever reason, while Harbaugh was at Michigan, he would not embrace Michigan quarterbacks. I can't remember the kid's name, but it's Lloyd Carr's grandson. Okay, Lloyd Carr, who coached Michigan to a national championship, didn't get a head fake. He signed with Notre Dame. So that was the disconnect. So when it got reconnected, yeah, you're going to have to throw money at Underwood because his people are telling him what he's worth. And, yeah, there are billionaires out there who wake up cranky and say, I'm not going to lose this kid to LSU if he really wants to be a Wolverine. And I think Underwood did from the jump. But, if you're not being recruited and LSU's offering all this stuff, fine. And it's going to keep happening until there's sanity brought back to this, and the sanity is some type of salary cap. I mean, even the NFL has a salary cap, right?
They do. Yeah.
They say this is how much you can spend this year on your team, and if you go over that, there's penalties, and you lose draft picks, and there's no guardrails, none, in college football, and that's what keeps coaches like Bronco up at night trying to keep Devin Dampier here. Yes, who knows what disgruntled alum is going to say, hey, here's money for Arizona to go lure him away because he's from Tucson. Well, we'll see what loyalty and the fact that they didn't recruit him has to do. And I hope that Devin stays. But at the same time, we can't sit around and hope. So that's why I'm working every day to try to raise money. And people out there, you want quarterbacks like Devin Dampier to stay at New Mexico? Open up your pocketbook. We don't have to come up with $10 million, but you have to do something that's going to be in the ballpark. So,
that's the way the game
yeah,
is
that
now.
is the sad reality.
Yeah, that's the game today, 100%. Yep.
Yeah. What I did want to call is thank you guys. I mean, you're my morning cup of coffee, even though I have a cup of coffee, but nothing fires me up about, like listening to sports to get me going in the morning. And I don't know, how many years is this going now?
You've
been on the morning drive?
This 16 and a half-ish, yeah.
Okay. And, 19 years I've been riding with you on the New Mexico Bowl, Jeff, and it's been a hell of a ride. So
appreciate you.
Let's see what happens this year. And I like the date, December 28th. What are you doing on December 28th, Saturday?
I know what I'm doing. Hopefully there'll be 30,000 plus with us out at the stadium. Yeah.
That's right. And I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed that New Mexico wins and that you invite them and that we all have a big party here for the Lobos. But that's and the other team, whoever they are. But it would be a reward for the people that stuck with this program, and we're hoping against hope when we were 0-4, and now here we are. And this is a tall order.
Yep.
You're not going to just go beat Hawaii on the rock.
100%.
So if they play the way they played against Washington State, I feel really good about our chances.
Yeah. All right, man. Enjoy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thank
Thanksgiving.
you. No, take care. Hey, JJ, this is an interesting one, and you and I were just talking a little bit off the air about this. Hawaii might be down to their backup quarterback. Might be, right? They fired their athletic director a week ago. You and I both saw the same story that the guy running their collective is basically shut her down. So I don't know that these guys are getting their NIL money anymore. Like Hawaii right now, as an athletic program, is in a little bit of a disarray. I don't know if that means desperate, that these guys are more fired up to play. I don't know if you're catching them where they're like, yeah, whatever, I got to get the hell out of here. I know as a coach, you would sit here and say, I don't care about them. It's all about us. We got to worry about us. I'm not sure what you're walking into.
It's a question mark with the quarterback situation. He did get banged up as well. But Braden Traeger, he started 33 straight games for that program. That's the most in the history of the program. You think about some of the quarterbacks that have
some really
rolled
good
through
ones,
there, and just the numbers in the run and shoot offense, and the issues that they're having with letting the AD go, and there was a lot of frustration. People wondering why the AD put out the AD that left or was pretty much fired.
Craig Angelos
put out a big statement like, it caught me by surprise. We're going through all this stuff at the Mountain West and trying to get football stadium on track and all this stuff, and then for the NIL collective to pull all the money. Like, you're naive this day and age if you think you can operate college athletics and not talk to the money people and not at least give them a seat at the table. Are they going to be able to make the final decision? Still probably not. But if you don't have NIL, you will not compete. It doesn't matter what coach you have. You will not compete.
I don't know what the future looks like. I don't know how these go. I don't know how many collectives are run by primarily individuals. Like you keep hearing, Kurt Roth is basically running the collective here, 505 Sports Ventures. It sounds like at Hawaii it was an individual. When the individual who's at the top of this thing says, I'm done, I'm out, I'm pissed, I'm tired, I'm whatever, what happens to these things? And I know there's a lot of talk, and I think at some point soon it's going to be in-house, and Richard Pitino just alluded to that in the clip we ran. But, this Hawaii thing is really interesting. I don't know what you're getting. The other part of it is they're 4-7. They lost to Utah State a week and a half ago, and it ended any bowl hopes they have. So what are they playing for? It's their final game. It's their final game there. I don't know what you're walking into, man. I don't know if it's just a wounded dog is really dangerous or if this is just a beaten dog. I don't know. And that's where it's got to be all about you, right? You are all about you and what you got to focus on. But man, this is an interesting one, and with so much on the line. All right, 505-246-0610. Got the breaking news in the NFL today. The big news in the Major League Baseball last night. We come back, a farewell of sorts in New Mexico this weekend that I certainly want to acknowledge. We'll do that next. Hey, winter weather is coming quickly. No better way to combat the snow and the dirt than with Service from On the Spot Automotive Detailing. I can't recommend them enough. Their ceramic coating, their paint protection film, that all helps prevent against scratches and damage from road debris. Then you can say goodbye to the snow, the dirt, the water stains. They're best in the city because they're the best in the city. I mean, that's why they win that. And they will come to you and perform the service. So you get your car detailed. That means inside, outside, around the rims, under the hood. Like, the day you took it off the lot, clean, that feel. You can have that new car feel without having to go get a new car. They do it where it is convenient for you, when it works, where it works for you, at your office, at your home. You don't take it to them. And I know you're looking for gifts. You're building your list. Great gift. I've given it a number of times. It hits every single time. Protect your vehicle. It's one of your biggest investments. Take care of it. Want to be in it. Book today. Buy today. It's all right online at otsdetailing.com. On the spot automotive detailing. otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. all of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
In a place where he is so familiar this weekend. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. JJ, a friend of ours, Jack Nixon's going to call his final game at Aggie Memorial Stadium tomorrow. Or, I'm sorry, Saturday. Jack has been the voice of New Mexico State, both football and basketball, for 45-ish years. And he announced that this will be his final season. He's got basketball season still to go. But he will do his final game at Aggie Memorial Stadium, Aggies and UTEP Miners, and that's a good one for him to do. On Saturday, 2 o'clock down at down in Las Cruces. And, man, you know how hard it is to do a game. You know how hard this industry is. You know, we said we've been doing this for 16 and a half years. You go, wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And then you think of what Jack's been doing for 45-ish years. And I just, you know, we had Jack on when he announced that he was going to retire. I know what you think of Jack, and I think the world of Jack, too. Good people, multiple-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year. But for Aggie fans and those of you who grew up listening to Jack, he's as good of a dude as he sounds like he is on the air. And best to him, and congratulations. But his final call at Aggie Memorial Stadium is this weekend.
Final football call. That's awesome. And you know, someone that's grinding in this industry and hopes to have an extensive play-by-play career. That's always the goal. You know, is to find a spot where you can be for a while, be successful, build relationships, you know, with the community, with the programs that you cover, and that's a special thing.
Yeah. So best to Jack, and good luck to the Aggies. Tony was with us yesterday. If you want to listen to what Tony Sanchez had to say, he was with us yesterday. It's over wherever you get a podcast. We're on our website, sportsanimallabq.com. No days off, said Sid. Mr. Symbieta, you better believe Sid's listening. There are no days off in Los Lunas. Appreciate you, Sid. Mountain West Conference volleyball predictions from Harold. I think UTAGs and Boise State will enjoy everything Vegas has to offer today. Then the winner will forfeit against, he says, Tran Jose State and file a $multi-million lawsuit against the Mountain West of the NCAA. Okay. I don't know what they're going to do. I've been looking and looking. I don't know if the winner will play San Jose State or not. I don't know what the plan is. Lobo, this says Lovo Hobo, is in on mercenaries, I guess, responding to Rudy's call. It says OD callers have been raising the same NIL issues and concerns for 2 years. This has to stop. What has to stop?
It doesn't have to stop. You have to deal with it if you want to watch college athletics.
Lobo Hobo, what has to stop? That they're going to be asking for money for NIL? I mean, what? This isn't going to stop. Nor is college athletics. It's going to roll on, with or without you, and it's going to roll on with NIL money. And that means collectives are going to be asking fans who care to contribute to the NIL fund, whether it's $10 or $10 million. I mean, I'm not. What is it that has to stop? Because it's not going to. 505-246-0610. Terry, what a win for your club last night, huh? Kansas.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. So good morning, Jeff. Good morning, JJ. Happy Thanksgiving to Addie, Austin, all family members, including Sports Animal family members. Yeah, that was kind of a wild ride last night. Our granddaughter was born yesterday, so she's undefeated as a KU basketball fan.
Congratulations, man. That's a big deal. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you on that. So, and shout out to Grady. He sent a message within a couple minutes after KU won. He said maybe they could win their last game and come to the New Mexico Bowl. So, you know, the family of the Sports Animal, different ones call in. You know, it's nice to get things. You know, I wish Western New Mexico's track team great things this spring. But it is what you guys do for all of us, and, you know, the bright spots you put in our hearts and everything, because, you know, sometimes everybody having a good day or not so good day, you know, it just lifts the spirits what sports can do from that level. So from a little bit, just know Addie gets in, you know, Dad's important, mom's important. Sometimes friends are important.
Yep.
But yeah, enjoy the time with her. From Austin, I know JJ, you're headed out to the islands and all that. But when you can, enjoy your family. Knows it's special times and all that. And as always, I appreciate the show. So you guys be safe and enjoy and take care.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
you. No, thanks, Terry, and happy Thanksgiving to you. And I'll tell you, man, you and I were just talking about this. You don't see your kid for a minute. That hug's a little tighter when you do. And,
no
and you
question.
appreciate it a little bit more. And when we saw her at the airport yesterday, it was like, wow. I mean, yeah. And she'll be with her mom for a little bit, and she'll be with us for a little bit, and that's what it, yeah, perspective, right? All right, when we come back, you want to do a 3 for all?
Let's do it.
It's hard, man. It's really hard. We'll pick 3 games on the NFL. You should probably pick against us. We're not that good at it. That way you make money. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Industries is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Play well in the snow. I don't think it'll snow, but I think it'll be cold. Green Bay -3.5 at home versus Miami.
It's kickoff 6:20 Mountain Time, and so in Green Bay it'll be 28 degrees. So
yeah, it's chilly.
Go Pack, go!
Yeah,
I don't feel good about this at all.
Okay,
but of the thing, I'll take the Bears +10
because it's so big.
Yes, the Lions eat people up. They eat kneecaps. They get it done. But I wanted to chase something on Thanksgiving. I didn't want to have the exact same game you had because the Packers were the obvious play and the right choice. But I'll go Bears +10.
I did it last week. I played the big number against Detroit, got beat. Yeah, they just kill fools. All right, what else you got?
This weekend, even more so than other weekends, like there's not a lot that I gravitated to that jumped out to me as like, this is what I want to chase. Yeah. And this is why they make money and they have those big buildings. Mm-hmm. We get it. I'm going to go Pittsburgh +3 at Cincinnati.
Okay.
Because it feels like a moment for both these teams. Like Cincinnati wins, they could absolutely go on a roll. They could. And still a playoff spot. And Pittsburgh loses, and I think it's the shine of Russell Wilson has worn off. The reality hits that they're just a team that's in the mixer and really, yeah, you're 8-3, but you're not at that level where we think you can win a playoff game.
Okay. I'm going to take Arizona on the road. I'm going to take 3.5 points at Minnesota. I think Minnesota wins, but Minnesota wins by a field goal every damn week. And the hook is attractive to me. The extra 0.5 point on the 3.5. So I will take Arizona on the road +3.5 in a bounce back game after getting beat in Seattle this week. And my third one, JJ, I'm going to go, and I guess the weather is going to be horrible. 31 snowstorm. I don't know who the hell their quarterback is. I don't know who their left tackle is. I'm laying 7. I'll take Buffalo -7 at home against San Francisco Sunday night.
I like it.
I do too. I'll tell you what the other one I was going to take after you pick your last one.
Man, this was a rough week for me, Jeff. I just
4 of them bounced off the page to me.
Speaking to me, it's not talking to me. I'm in a rut. I need to go into a dark place.
Yeah, you had a rough week.
Come out in a better spot.
Go to Hawaii and do it.
After being on a heater the last 2 weeks, just been bashing ahead with bad choices. I'm going to take Houston -4.5 in Jacksonville because it gotta get right against Jags, right?
I mean, they better. Yeah, they better. All right, you got Chicago +10 at Detroit, Pittsburgh +3 at Cincinnati, Houston laying 4.5 at Jacksonville. I got the Packers -3.5 at home on Thursday versus Miami, Arizona +3.5 at Minnesota, and Buffalo -7 against San Francisco. The other game I liked, and It was, I like Seattle laying 2 on the road at the Jets. I really like Seattle going in and taking care of the Jets. But every time I think I get a feel on Seattle, I'm wrong, and that's why I pulled them off. Every time I felt like I've got a good read on Seattle, they come out and lay an egg. They got to go across the country. Look, they had 2 teams coming across the country and beat them. The Giants did it. I think it was the Eagles who did it as well. I mean, what are the Jets? Now, coming off a bye, I guess Aaron Rodgers is their quarterback. By the way, Aaron Rodgers said yesterday, JJ, that if he plays next year, that his preference is to be a Jet. I don't believe anything coming out of anybody from there anymore, by the way. Do you?
No, I'm with you. I don't.
I don't even know if I want to play yet, he said. But New York would be my first option. You want to be in a spot where you feel like you can win and you're valued. So why do you think it's there? When you're 40 going on 41, you're obviously at the end of your career. Obviously, if it's New York, they have to want me to be here. And then the new GM, new staff, all have to want me to be with the Jets. And then body-wise, I have to see how I'm feeling and if I want to sign up and go back to the grind and all that. But it feels good. I'm healthy now. It's not as much fun when you're dealing with rehab all the time. So if I can stay healthy the rest of the year and play the way I want to play, and everybody feels good about bringing me back, then there's a decision there. And if not, there's all the other options. I think at this point, I'm open to everything and attached to nothing, so it's a good place to be, end quote. I mean, that sounds like I want to be here, but they're going to fire me, so I'm going to have, go somewhere.
It's on them.
But by the way, and I've asked you this a bunch of times, who's jumping to sign Aaron Rodgers?
Jumping? I don't know about jumping.
Is it the Raiders if they don't get a quarterback? But they're going to get.
There's a spot for Aaron Rodgers in the NFL.
Well, okay, fit it. I mean, we found the fit for Daniel Jones a couple days ago, and he fell into it today.
Maybe Vegas, depending on what kind of shapes up with where they draft.
New Orleans?
A quarterback.
Depending on who their head coach is?
About San Francisco.
You don't think Brock Purdy's going to be there?
What's the number?
I don't know. If Brock Purdy signs, you can't bring him in.
No.
And I guess I firmly believe Brock Purdy's going to sign there. I do. I think they're going to figure out a sweet spot for both of them, and I think Brock Purdy's going to be there. Okay, but I'm listening to that. There's not a lot of other spots. I mean, Dallas is so interesting to me.
Cleveland?
But why? He said he wants to win.
Why?
I mean, like, why? Why would he do that?
Why would he do anything?
Fair enough. I mean, it's not very dark in Cleveland, is it? I guess it gets dark early.
Yeah, it's the time change, weather overcast.
Giants? I'm just saying.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have to move.
I mean, look, man, personally, I don't think he plays next year. I don't. I think at some point, dude says, you know what, I'm done. I made a lot of money. I had a great career. I'm going to go do crazy stuff that I want to do. And like Colin Cowherd says, he's single, rich guy in his 40s. He knows everything. He's going to go do what he wants to do. And I don't know that there's many spots that are just going, yeah, come save us. I mean, everybody's got eyes, dude. What have you seen from Aaron Rodgers? Never mind all the drama. Never mind all the hysteria. Never mind all the goofy mess. What have your eyes told you by watching Aaron Rodgers play quarterback this year that guy's coming in and saving your franchise? Let's turn it around. Let's make
He's not a savior anymore. This was supposed to be, hey, he's good enough that you have a couple franchise pieces in place, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, a good defense, and then you manage it.
Okay.
And it didn't work. And so he's not a franchise savior. He's not. And you're bringing him in maybe to be a stopgap next year if he wants to play football just because you don't have anything else, and you missed out on the quarterback you wanted, and you don't want to start that guy right away. Like that's where he's at now. And you can say, well, does he want it? Well, then no, he's not playing football now.
All right, so there's two things here, and both of them to me point that he won't play. I can't see him going to a team that isn't going to win. It's the Raiders. That's New Orleans. And I can't see, to your point, a team that says he's my savior. He's going to come in and put us over the top. The only scenario would be San Francisco if they don't sign Brock Purdy, right? Okay, if they don't sign Brock Purdy and they're going to be in the middle of the draft, I could see them thinking that they can make that work for a year. Okay. Other than that, I see nothing that makes sense. Nothing.
Yeah, there's not a lot that makes sense right now for Aaron Rodgers because we've seen he's an average quarterback that needs to be in a good spot. And if you're in a good spot, do you want to bring that mess in? You don't.
Yeah, it's an average high drama quarterback. Right? I mean, look, we talked about this all the way. You can go back to Kaepernick to how much drama do you want to bring in with your quarterback? It's got to be, does the pro outweigh the con? Is it worth it? And I think your eyes and my eyes and most general managers' eyes will tell you that at this point for Aaron Rodgers, it's probably not worth it. I don't know. Are the Jets better off or worse off than when he got there? Probably about the same mess, just with different characters.
Messier.
Right, because now they don't have a head coach. Now they don't have a general manager.
Head coach, general manager gone.
Yeah. Now he went and blew that thing up. Now he's gonna say, "I didn't do anything." Well, no, you're right. You're right. You were the impetus of blowing things up because everything was around you. You got everything you wanted, and you didn't live up to it. Now I'm not gonna get mad. You blew out your Achilles, man. That sucks. But and you know where it unraveled this year? He had to go to Egypt. It did. I remember back in July or whenever that was, and it was mini camp or required camp or whatever the hell it was. OTA.
And they're like, we know he's not here, but it's not an excuse.
It's an unexcused absence. And he got sour with the coach. The coach said what it was. Dude went to Egypt. And everybody's like, no, it's good. Aaron doesn't need to be here. He's Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't. I mean, he knows that. Really? No, I'm not telling you. Is that why they're not playing well in October or September because he's not there? I don't think so. But there's a reason you have these things. There's a reason there's required events, right? I don't think in the NFL, as much as anything else, they do anything just because. There's a reason. There's a process. All right, still have time for you to get in everything you need to know as you go into the long, long weekend. 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. I got a couple texts to read for you as well on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service.
Big victory for San Diego State. They beat 21st ranked Creighton. Final score was 71-53. So as you're watching the hoops, and again, great stuff today from West Virginia, Gonzaga, Colorado, Iowa State. Memphis plays Auburn today. San Diego State plays Oregon today. You got great stuff to watch as you go through it. Oregon's not ranked. San Diego State's not ranked. Huh? Is that the deal? Notre Dame plays Houston. Mountain West stuff, and a big one certainly tomorrow for New Mexico in Palm Springs. Yesterday in the Mountain West, Wyoming beat Tulane. JJ, that's significant, is it not?
Solid. It's not football, but it's a good one for Wyoming.
Yeah. Obi Agbim scored 18 points, including the game winner. 64-63. That was down in Cancun. Boston College beat Boise State in the Cayman Islands. Joshua Beadle hit a three-pointer with 2.2 seconds left. Boston College beat Boise State, so the Broncos fall to 5-2. 63-61 was the score there. San Jose State beat UNC, Greensboro and Washington State over Fresno State. That was in Palm Springs, 84-73. So games to watch today, San Diego State and Oregon. That's on TNT and Max. That's a 2 o'clock game today. Wyoming plays Loyola Marymount in Cancun. San Jose State and Long Beach State in the Bulldogs Classic. And Fresno State will get a look at Cal Baptist in San Jose today. Air Force plays Sacramento State. So you got a lot of stuff to watch for, man. A lot of stuff. UNLV gets Mississippi State. on Thursday's a big day. Colorado State, Washington.
Yep.
A lot of opportunity, man.
Love the schedule.
A lot
Next
of
4 days is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah. The college football is going to be great, too, as you go through it. All right, let me get you a couple of emails that or a text that were sent in. This is from John at 505-246-0610. It says, Jeff, JJ, don't get a lot of opportunities to call in the OD and the AM, usually just the text line, but just need to say to both of you, please have an awesome Thanksgiving tomorrow. You guys totally kick ass with your insights and talk of all sports related, both locally and national. Keep up the excellent job, guys. It's from John in the Duke City. Appreciate you, John. Thank you. Larry sent me one. It says, thank you, Jeff and JJ, for what you guys do. Love the content of the show you guys bring every day and the way you provide a forum for us fans to interact and put our 2 cents in on whatever the topic may be. Enjoy your Thanksgiving with your family and friends. And Jeff, no one associated with 505 Sports Ventures is asking any fan to contribute at a level that takes away from their ability to live their life. Give whatever you could afford. $20 a month multiplied by 10,000 fans equals $2.4 million. Anything adds up. That's from Larry. That's in response to, I believe, to Lobo Hobo. Talking about this has to stop. And I'm like, what has to stop? Like honestly, what has to stop? This isn't going anywhere. All right. Again, if you want to watch the Lobo game on Saturday, download the Team One app, Team One, TEAM1, and then you'll scroll down to the bottom to Hawaii Sports and click on it, and it's 9:00 on Saturday. Otherwise, you listen to JJ Buck on the call, along with Robert Portnoy from Honolulu on Saturday. News Radio KKB.
Just along for the ride. There in case of emergency.
Well, glad you're going to Hawaii.
But I'm excited about tonight. UC Irvine in town. Back-to-back Big West championships. Returned 4 starters from a team that played Gonzaga in the first round of the NCAA tournament. This is a legit non-conference schedule. As much as we talked about the men, and of course rightfully so, there's conference contenders. The next started with Gonzaga, UC Irvine, North Texas, back-to-back from Mexico State. Mexico State's the only team that's beaten UC Irvine this season. It's going to be another good game at the Pit tonight.
Yeah. All right, so you can go out there and enjoy that. If you can't get there, listen to it on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal, or at least AM 610 The Sports Animal, and the app. Tomorrow, The Sports Animal has a bunch for you. We got the Bears and Lions, then we get the Giants and Cowboys, then we get the Dolphins and Green Bay Packers, and then, of course, tomorrow night over on News Radio KKB, New Mexico Lobo basketball, men in Palm Springs against Arizona State. I'm looking at this story. The Astros finding a way to get Juan Soto. But they say Alex Bregman's got to resign. The next few days are going to be interesting in baseball, too. As the signings start in the Hot Stove League, going to get Alex Bregman still out there. Right? What is he going to resign or not? So that's it. All right, the college football this weekend. Again, the rivalry game. I'm just telling you, I'm calling at least 3, and I'm going to guess more upsets that you just don't see coming.
Yeah, I know you're on USC.
I do like SC.
What else? I know it could happen. Who do you,
they're
what
coming?
do you think?
They're going to come out of nowhere. I'm not going to be surprised if Oregon State beats Boise State. Well, I'll be surprised. I won't be stunned. I won't be surprised if Memphis beats Tulane. Does Vandy have a shot over Tennessee? How can they beat Alabama and tell me they can't beat Tennessee?
They can win that game.
Oklahoma State could beat Colorado.
A&M
yeah, A&M, very, very real could beat Texas. Yeah. Syracuse may beat Miami.
I think probably A&M would be the one that if I stumbled into, San Diego Sportsbook or something.
That's the one.
Okay, here, boom.
Yeah. I don't know exactly where I just know they're coming because they came last week.
Sports, Jeff.
Yeah, it's sports. All right. What time you leave tomorrow?
Yes.
All right. Well, safe travels to you. You got to have a great call tonight, and again, listen to JJ tonight. And again, we're thankful for what we get to do and thankful for you being with us every day. And have a great, safe Thanksgiving holiday with your friends and your family. Thank you to Jerry Palm for being with us today. The Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Minons here at 4. Adrian, have a great Thanksgiving. Got to see Adrian in person yesterday. Give him a hug. Great to see you yesterday, man. Enjoy all that family that you got coming in from Cali. Love on them. JJ, safe travels.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
You as well. Enjoy it.
Thank you. We're back on Monday with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Have a great, safe holiday weekend. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. And we'll smell you on Monday.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.